So finally, I'd like to talk a little bit about exclusions. Exclusions is the part of the flow where you actually take out unreachable or not interesting bins or other coverage objects, and you actually want to refine your coverage model and make it a more realistic one. So let's say, for example, that this bin here is not interesting. I don't want to hit it, or it's unreachable. And note that the coverage score for this coverage point is 66.67%. I can exclude this bin from the coverage calculation. I can do this either by right-clicking and selecting exclude from here, or simply by clicking here in the exclusion column. This is the exclusion column. I can just click here. It becomes grayed out, and as soon as I click the recalculate button here, the score goes up. I can add more exclusions as I review my coverage model. Let's say that this bin is not interesting as well. Let's exclude it. And note this window down here, this is the exclusion manager window, which is the central place to look at exclusions, review them, and do stuff like providing a reason why an exclusion point or a coverage object was excluded. So let's say, for example, that this one is unreachable and this one is not interesting at this phase of the project. And of course, this list could get quite big, and what I normally want to do is save it to file. So as the coverage model evolves, things might change, and I may have created the coverage exclusion file on a specific design. Then the design has changed, and I want to reuse that old quote-unquote exclusion file. So for that, let me clear the exclusions here, and let me load an old exclusion file from last week, and note what happens. So I've got one exclusion here, which is okay, nothing wrong with it, it's still valid, but there's an exclusion point here on this bin. The exclusions, somebody wanted to exclude this bin here, but it's marked with a question mark, a green question mark, which says there's a problem with this bin. And the tool thinks they know what what you meant when you did the exclusion, but they just want you to validate their assumption. So let's look at the code and see what's the story here. And by looking at the code, it appears that the bin name did not change, but its range did. So the range was from 10 and now it's from 11 due to some, natural evolution of the coverage model. So what I can do at this point is either accept this new exclusion or reject it if it's not valid anymore. Let's say that it's valid and I want to accept it. It becomes accepted, and I can recalculate my coverage model again, and then tell the tool to clear all the items that needed review. So basically, this is the adaptive exclusion flow where you can create your exclusion once, and then even if the design and your coverage model has changed, the tool will still try to intelligently remap your old exclusions to the newer design. That's basically it. Thanks for watching this cool things you can do with Verdi video series, and hope to see you on the next video of cool things you can do with Verdi.